Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left, and that's exactly what we gotta do today. I want to start off with a very simple question. Why is it that President Donald Trump always happens to be on the right side of history? He's supposed to be the evil orange glorf man. I mean, for Pete's sakes, did you guys hear what he said about Rosie O'Donnell? Wow, he must be the worst person on the planet, and that's what a lot of people think. But why is it that the worst person on the planet, the supposed evil orange despot dictator, is always doing the right thing? It's a very simple concept. The concept of snakes in the grass. The real snakes, the real terrible people, are the ones who present themselves in a clean, virtuous manner. Those are the ones you should be afraid of. The ones who claim to be your friends, then actively backstab you at every point in turn. Malcolm X said it best himself.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf.
White liberals are the real snakes in the grass, and I've said it a million times. President Donald Trump is a true patriot, and he was and still is the vote for true social justice. And it's happening once again, where the president is the only person fighting for the American people, and all these bozo Democrat crony establishment crooks are voting in favor of this monstrosity, this abomination of a stimulus package attached to a ridiculous spending bill. The only one with a backbone to say he's gonna veto it and to fight against it is the president. The only one who's fighting for more than $600 for furloughed and unemployed Americans is once again President Donald Trump. He's the only one who's had your back against and despite the establishment since the start. And so we got to expose all of these phony liberals and all of the BS that they're putting out there. So of course we're going to get right into that. But before we do, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. So yesterday I made a video where I said without the president, there's no such thing as America first. The concept, the notion of America first, unfortunately, might go to the grave with the president. And the latest coof pandemic abomination stimulus package is pretty much proof of that exact notion. Here's the president slamming the bill that came out of Congress. Donald Trump demands Congress add $2,000 direct payments to coof relief bill. President Donald Trump demanded Tuesday that Congress amend the coof rescue package and government funding bill before sending it to his desk, aka fix it or I'm gonna veto that real quick. That's what you call decisive leadership. And without the president, this doesn't exist. This is why they want Joe Biden in that Oval Office so badly, because Joe won't even read the damn thing. Joe Biden doesn't even make his own tweets, doesn't write his own speeches, uses a teleprompter to do interviews, for Pete's sakes. So when that bill lands on his desk and there's hundreds and billions of dollars being spent on illegal migrants and massive corporations who don't really need it, Joe Biden will sign that puppy real quick without even asking a damn question. Just sign right over here, Mr. Amazing, Incredible President Joe. Oh, that's me. And then he just signs the bill. But let's just take a look at what Trump actually said. Trump criticizes the bill for extending direct coof relief payments to family members of illegal aliens, getting up to $1,800 each. He says this is far more than Americans are given, Trump said. Like I told you guys, pretty much everyone but the American people. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. He went on to say it's called the coof relief bill, but has almost nothing to do with coof. He criticized the billions appropriated for aid to countries like Cambodia, Burma, Egypt, countries in Central America, and even $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. He says Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries and lobbyists and special interests while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it, Trump said. And so here is where liberal hypocrisy comes in. The president, of course, has the right perspective. His perspective is, why are we wasting all of this money on this BS that has nothing to do with the American people and giving the American people the bare minimum? So his solution is obviously more efficient spending within the bill. Let's go to AOC, because people are reporting all over the place that AOC and President Trump agree that Americans deserve $2,000, but of course they have two different methods of getting there. AOC writes this on Twitter: "Let's do it. Rashida Tlaib and I co-wrote the coof amendment for $2,000 checks, so it's ready to go. Glad to see the president is willing to support our our legislation. We can pass $2,000 checks this week if the Senate GOP agrees to stand down. Not so fast, Mrs. AOC. Once again, her solution to every problem is, let's just spend more money. Money is an arbitrary concept, let's just give people $2,000 more dollars. So let's add an amendment, boom, here's more money for everyone, happy days. But AOC, what about all of the ridiculous, wasteful spending within the bill? You seem to be anti-billionaire, anti-corporatist. Where's your amendment going after all of the corporate wastefulness and money going to lobbyists and interest groups alike? Well, AOC's nowhere to be found, and once again, a total hypocrite. You want to see how much of a hypocrite? Who remembers this tweet right over here before they sign the bill? AOC on Twitter says, "This is why Congress needs time to actually read this package before voting for it. Members of Congress have not read this bill. It's over 5,000 pages, arrived at 2 p.m. today, and we are told to expect a vote on it in 2 hours. This isn't governance, this is hostage taking. Expected to vote in 2 hours and no time to read it." So you'd expect AOC would do as she's claiming in her tweet and fight against it, right? Vote no. Well, AOC, the massive hypocrite herself, voted yes on the bill. Talk about absolute moral cowardice. And once again, the only Democrat with a spine, Tulsi Gabbard, is pretty much the only Democrat standing on the right side of history. Listen to what she had to say about the bill.
I voted against it, and I wanted to tell you why. The second thing is the central part of this bill was supposed to be about providing direct COVID relief to the American people who are struggling and who need help the most. This bill dished out hundreds of billions of dollars going towards special interests, going towards the military industrial complex, going towards foreign countries, meanwhile saying, here's what's left for you. You get $600. I'll tell you, in Hawaii, that in most cases won't even cover 25% of your rent. It is an insult and a slap in the face to every single American in this country who is struggling because of this COVID pandemic, who is concerned about not being able to pay the rent, about eviction, about whether you'll have enough to buy groceries or medicine for yourself or your loved ones.
And so the hypocrisy is pretty much clear as day, folks. The Democrats don't care about you, neither does the GOP. And then people wonder why the president is so incredibly popular with average American folk who are sick of crony Washington games. And always the Democrats grandstanding as if they're on the side of the people. Who remembers this? This is Nancy Pelosi's most recent take. Republicans repeatedly refused to say what amount the president wanted for direct checks. At last, the president has agreed to $2,000. Democrats are ready to bring this to the floor this week by unanimous consent. Let's do it. Oh, we've been on your side for the whole time, folks. Very casually memory holing and forgetting the fact that over the last however many months, Nancy Pelosi has refused to even negotiate. And she says right over here, they refuse to say the amount the president wanted for direct checks. Thank God we have the internet, because it's basically a time machine that archives everything. Here's Donald Trump in October, friends. If I am sent a standalone bill for stimulus checks, $1,200, of course, $2,400 for couples, they will go out to our great people immediately. I'm ready to sign right now. Are you listening, Nancy? The president's been ready and willing the entire time. Once again, fighting for the American people and not for corporate interests, not for foreign interests, and not for lobbyist power. The president's on your side, and if you haven't noticed, you've been sleeping under a rock. Let's keep going into Democrat hypocrisy. Senator Klobuchar breaks with Democrats, opposes Trump's call for $2,000 relief checks to every American. Klobuchar also argued that Congress has the votes to override Trump's veto and just pass the bill either way. Let's go into some GOP hypocrisy. Lindsey Graham quoted as saying, "Pakistan is a place I worry about." Lindsey Graham defends sending millions of dollars to Pakistan while Americans suffer. Hypocrisy thy name. Here's a story from December 5th. Bernie Sanders said he would vote against the bipartisan $900 billion stimulus bill unless it significantly improved. His major qualm, the $600. Anti-establishment Bernie, his issue is the $600 and not the billions of dollars being sent to foreign and global interests. Well, he said he wouldn't vote on it. Fast forward today, I can't find a single story or a single tweet, a single statement, nothing indicating that Bernie Sanders voted against this bill, so he must have voted for it. Absolute hypocrites across the board, friends. It's as clear as day, and it's time to start paying attention. But I think people are slowly starting to understand what's going on here. And let's just say, under the dreaded scenario of President Trump being replaced by Joe Biden January 20th, I think the way Biden's Biden's 4 years in office plays out, or as maybe year and a half and then 2.5 years of Kamala Harris, I think the way that administration plays out, people are going to have a serious wake-up call to the stark contrast between Trumpism, populism, and the status quo politics of the past. But that's a video that I got for you guys on this one. Once again, the president is just on the right side of history, doing the right thing by and for the American people. It's pretty much no surprise if you've been paying attention for the last 4 years. That's basically his entire track record as a leader. But hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now I gotta get back to work. There's a whole lot of hypocrisy that must be exposed on a daily basis, so I'm gonna get to that. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.